Hey everybody, it's Mr. Mansager, and so now we've made a way for our character to win. But now, to make a fun game, you also have to make a way for your character to lose, because you can't always win, or it wouldn't be fun, wouldn't be challenging. So, what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to do that. So, what we're going to do is first we have to figure out what's going to happen when they lose. So, when they won, we made this sprite that that says they won, that pops up when they get to the end. So now we need to make another sprite the same way, but this one's going to say that they lost. So again, I'm going to go to vector, I'm going to get my text, I'm going to type you lost. All right, same deal, I'm going to make it bigger, I'm going to position it, and there it is. So you lost. That's good. Okay, so same thing what has to happen is with the U1 thing. When we first start our game, this can't be showing, because obviously you got to give them a chance to win before they lose. So what I'm going to do is go back to the sprite, or make sure you're on the U lost sprite, and go back to your scripts. And the same deal, when the flag is clicked, we're going to hide it. So go to looks and pick hide. Awesome, okay? So let me click my green flag, and we got nothing showing. All right. Now, the way that this game is going to work is you're going to have a time limit. You're going to have to get to the end before the time runs out. So in order to do that, we have to create a timer. Now, a timer is going to change. It's going to count down from a certain number to a certain number. So in order to do that, we actually have to make a variable, because what a variable does is it stores a value, but it can also change throughout the game. So there's a few things we got to do before we get this set up. So let's go back to our blocky guy, and let's go back and set a starting position for him. So we're going to start him at the top. And then when you go to your motion blocks, wherever you put blocky, make sure he's selected, it gives you his XY value. All right, so we're going to put that right under when the flag is clicked, so that we get blocky in his starting position. All right, so now we need to make a variable. All right, and to do that, you do that in the data category. So you're going to click on make a variable, and we're going to call this variable time, because that's what it is. And we'll make it for all sprites, and you hit OK. All right, so time is a variable, and we're going to set the time so we can decide how much time we want to count down. Let's just make it like a minute. All right, actually, if you look over here, if you check this box, you actually see what the variable is at the time. Let's drag that over to the side so we can see it, so it's not covering up the maze. All right, so I'm going to set the time. We're going to probably start with like 60 seconds. All right, actually, let's start with 10 seconds to make sure that we can at least make it work and don't have to wait that long. But obviously 10 seconds probably won't be enough time. But that'll get in later when we start testing our game. All right, so we have to do a few things to get started here. Now, we're not going to use this variable in the blocky thing, because the variable actually needs to wait every second before it changes. So if we put it in the blocky script, he's going to have to wait every second. That's going to ruin the flow. So we're actually going to write this script in the stage area. Okay, so the stage is pretty static. It doesn't change. It doesn't move. There's nothing happening. So click on stage, and we're going to drag out a flag. When flag is clicked, the first thing we want to do is make sure we set our variable to the number we want it to be. So drag out, we're going to do set time. It's already set to the time variable, but you can have more than one variable and they would all appear in here. Let's set it to 10. All right, so what's going to happen is when the flag is clicked, we're going to set the variable to 10. Let me just click the flag and see if it does that. Boom, see, now it's 10. Now we're going to have to do another conditional statement. So we're going to check to see if it gets to 0, because when it gets to 0, we're going to lose the game. All right, so that's a control statement. That's an if-then statement. So we're going to drag that underneath. We're going to check to see if the time is 0, then we know we've lost and we got to do something. All right, so the way we do that is we go to our operators. Operators check to different conditions, whether it's less than, equal to, greater than. So this is just going to be a straight up equal to. Drop that in there. So if time is equal to 0. So the way we get the time variable is back in data, drag the time variable, drop it in there, and we're going to set it to 0, because that means our timer's run out. Then what are we going to do? We want to show the lost variable. So we do that the same way we do the show the 1, 1. So we're going to send out a message to that sprite to show. All right, and that is in the events. So we're going to go broadcast a message. All right, we already have message 1 is the one we won variable. So we need to actually do a different message in here. So if you click on that little arrow, I can actually make a new message. It'd probably be good if we rename this one to be like U1 instead of message 1, but for now we'll leave it. New message, and we're going to call this You Lost. That's the message we're sending. It can be anything, but as long as you know which one it is. We're going to broadcast You Lost, and then we're going to stop everything. That's in control, because our game is over. All right, and now, if this condition isn't met, oh, I forgot to say, we need to set this all in a forever loop. So it keeps running over and over again until that condition is met. So let me get my forever loop. We're going to put it underneath where we set the time variable, because we want to start, but we don't want to keep resetting it back to that. And then this goes inside the forever loop. So first it's going to check for this condition. It's going to broadcast this if it does, and stop the game. If it doesn't, if our timer is still going, we need to make it go down. All right. We also need to make it wait a second, right? Because we're doing this in like seconds. So the first we want to do is wait 1 second. So that's under control here. Wait 1 second, and you can change this. You can make it faster or slower. And then we're going to make the variable go down by 1. And that's back in the data. You're going to change it by a number. So we wait a second, and then we change it. We want it to go down 1 number, so we do -1. And then it's going to repeat it again. It's going to check to see if it's 0. If it is, we lost. It's going to wait a second. It's going to go down 1. So it's going to keep going down, down, down until it gets to 0. The last thing we have to do is broadcast. We're broadcasting You Lost. We got to tell the You Lost sprite that when it gets that message that you lost to show. Okay, so here we go. When I receive You Lost, show. That's it. I think we're good to go. So now when I click the green flag, my timer's going to start going. Blocky's going to start at the beginning, and we better hurry up and get to the end. Boom. There's my timer. It's counting down. Better go. Better go. Better go. Oh, no. 2, 1. I lost, and I can't move Blocky anymore. Great. So now we can start testing to see how much time will make it challenging enough for your person to actually be able to win, but also not too easy so he doesn't have too much time. Bye.